Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Pearl, and this movie is a prequel to X. And as far as that movie goes, I thought it was alright. I didn't hate it. And it is a film that worked well enough for me, and I can see myself seeing it again at some point. Like, I enjoyed it enough, if that makes sense, and this movie, I was looking forward to it because people were saying, like, oh, you gotta check this movie out. If you like X, then you'll like Pearl, because Pearl is essentially, for most people, the better of the two. And going into this movie, I was hoping that there was going to be something that I would say is better than X, and there are a couple things that I really love, like Mia Gotha's performance. She's playing a completely different character. She's playing the villain in X, without spoiling anything in that movie. Because in that movie, she's the protagonist in X. And she's playing a Maxine or whatever her name was. I don't remember. But in this movie, she's playing Pearl, which was the villain in X. And here she does a really great job. And her performance is definitely the best part of the movie. And I did like the violence. The violence is always fun. And it was kind of fun to watch. It wasn't overly disturbing, like it easily could have been, to the point where it would be distracting. Like, it's fun in a slasher movie kind of way. I like how colorful the movie is. It's kind of fun to watch. And I like the second half better than the first half. The second half feels like where all the meat of what you would want from this movie is. And the first half is just kind of building everything up, kind of ish. But overall, I was kind of disappointed by this movie. And there were so many things in this movie that were a little on the nose, and I was getting kind of worried. Is the whole movie going to be like this? And sure enough, it kind of is for the most part. I loved the ending shot for the movie, but as far as positives go, that's about it. The jump scares in this movie were kind of annoying and didn't need to be there. And some of them weren't even like scares of like, oh, actual scares, something you're supposed to be afraid of. Sometimes it's just a random crow or a person just sneaking up behind someone for absolutely no reason. And the mother character just dragged the movie down, and not because the performance was terrible, but rather the character was annoying and just used as a plot device to get our main character to go from one place to another place. And just destroyer mentality. And there were also some annoying conveniences in this movie that just really bugged me. And there was a good chunk of this movie where it was just scenes of nothing happening and things that just didn't really lead anywhere, or parts of the movie that just could have been cut out entirely and the movie would be no different. And I honestly feel as though 30 minutes of this movie could have been in the movie X, and the movie X would be somewhere between 2.5 hours long. And honestly, if you did that, you would have something really solid at the very least. But all in all, I think 30 minutes of this movie is really good, and the rest of it I can do without. Because this movie did feel very stretched out, and my biggest issue with this movie is that although I didn't hate it, it just felt incredibly pointless because of what it was exploring, and also it just didn't offer me much from a narrative perspective. All it does is just show you how Pearl became the character that she is in X. Like, the build up to that. That's really all you get, and it takes place in 1918. There's no interesting side characters. There's no subplots going on or anything like that. It's very simple, which is fine. Not every movie needs to be incredibly complicated or have multiple different storylines going on. But I just felt as though this movie needed something else. And in terms of which movie I like better, Pearl or X, I think I like X a little bit better, simply because I think I was a bit more entertained while watching X, whereas Pearl I was kind of bored for most of it. That's about all I have to say about Pearl. It was fine as a film, but could have been a short film, because that's about all I enjoyed about this movie. Just about 30 to 40 minutes could have made a pretty good short film. The rest of it I can do without. There was some good stuff in it for sure. I like the violence and Mia Goth's performance. I thought she did a great job and she does express a lot of emotions just through her facial expressions. The ending shot is fantastic. And that was the most interesting part of the movie. And unfortunately, the story just didn't offer me much of anything at all. There were some stylistic choices that were made to the film that were kind of interesting, but that's about it. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Pearl a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Pearl, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for A Million Ways to Die in the West. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.